Welcome, everyone. Get ready to witness some of the most unbelievable moments ever caught on camera. These jaw-dropping scenes will make you question reality. Trust me, this is something you absolutely cannot miss. Hang on tight, because the adventure is about to begin. The fiery lava, glowing bright red and fierce, rushes down the hill, consuming everything in its path. The ground shakes violently as plumes of black smoke rise, engulfing the sky. Homes are swallowed by the molten fury, melting away under the unbearable heat. What could possibly stop this unstoppable force of nature? The lightning strikes so violently, hitting the surface of the lake with a brilliant flash. It's so fast and powerful, it makes you jump in your seat. Did you see that? The energy in the air is electrifying, literally. Impossible, right? But here it is, a supercar trying to squeeze through a road that's way too narrow for its massive frame. The tension is unbearable. Can the car even make it without getting stuck? It's like watching a beast try to fit into a cage made for a mouse. A huge crowd gathers, eagerly awaiting the demolition of the bridge. Suddenly, a deafening explosion rips through the air as a plume of white dust rises, swallowing the bridge whole. The mighty structure falls in an instant, bringing the crowd to their feet in awe. Did that just happen? The massive yellow building shakes and rattles like a toy in the wind, swaying precariously. It's almost as if the entire structure might topple over with a single gust. Can you feel the trembling under your feet? flood surges in with terrifying speed, dragging thick, muddy earth with it. The land, stripped bare of trees, is left vulnerable to nature's wrath. The water roars, sweeping everything in its path, leaving nothing but destruction behind. This is devastation at its finest. Could anything survive this? Two boats are swept away by the floodwaters, drifting helplessly toward a bridge. But then crash. The boats hit the bridge, tipping over and falling into the swift, dangerous current below. The force of nature is beyond belief, isn't it? The fierce storm causes the ocean waves to crash violently into the coastal town. Cars are carried away by the surging waters, drifting aimlessly in every direction. The chaos is absolute. How do you even begin to deal with something like this? The mudslide from the mountain comes crashing down, swallowing a small house whole, tearing it away in a flood of mud, rocks, and broken branches. What can one do when nature shows its absolute fury like this? People are standing by the road, watching in disbelief as the sea roars in fury. The storm winds pushing massive waves toward them. But as the wind howls, the waves strike with such power that everyone panics and runs. Is there any escaping nature's force? In the freezing winter, a storm suddenly strikes, bringing a torrent of rain that shatters icebergs and sends water pouring in every direction. The icy chaos is stunning, Can you imagine the force it takes to shatter solid ice like that? A massive landslide cascades down the mountainside, sending huge rocks and debris tumbling onto the road below. People are screaming and running for safety, their hearts racing. How terrifying is it to watch a natural disaster unfold like this? The small wooden bridge is completely swept away by the floodwaters. The force of the water is so overwhelming, it's as if the bridge never even stood a chance. How quickly nature can erase everything in its path.
When the people of Meghalaya, India, saw that their bridge was a goner, they decided to make a spectacle out of its destruction. It rained non-stop for 3 days, and in the end, nature won.
A wild crocodile sneaks into a residential area under the cover of darkness. But when it doesn't find anything to snack on, it decides to leave. The tension in the air is thick. Imagine what it must have felt like for the people living nearby. A massive mining ship begins sinking as the river floods into it. The once mighty vessel is slowly pulled under by the churning water as the surface froths with white foam. Could this be the end for the mighty ship? The power of water is overwhelming. The hailstorm strikes with brutal force, shattering glass windows with terrifying loud crashes. The sound of each impact sends a shiver down your spine. How horrifying would it be to be caught in this storm without any shelter? The small Boeing aircraft seems to struggle as it lands, its engine failing. It tumbles uncontrollably, rolling across the ground, dust and dirt flying everywhere until it finally comes to a halt. Did you just witness that close call? As the storm unleashes its fury, hailstones rain down, smashing the windshield of a car traveling on the highway. The glass cracks and shatters, and even the roof of the car is hit. How much more can this vehicle withstand before it's completely destroyed? The dark, thick sludge pours down from the mountainside, racing toward the highway. It sweeps everything in its way, including a car, which gets completely buried in the mud. It's as though the car is just a toy, lost in nature's chaos. How terrifying to be in that situation. The seal, gnawing on a fishbone, suddenly turns aggressive when a man approaches. Thinking its meal is in danger, it attacks fiercely. The raw instinct of nature, how far will the seal go to protect its food? Outside a jewelry store, a sudden earthquake shakes the building, causing panic and chaos. The vibrations are so intense that everyone rushes to escape. Can you even imagine what it must feel like to be trapped in that moment? The powerful storm causes a Boeing aircraft to spin wildly in place on the runway. The mighty winds force the plane to whirl uncontrollably, its massive body fighting against the storm. Can you feel the intensity of the winds and the sheer force it takes to move such a massive machine? Small private plane loses control and crashes onto a busy highway, narrowly missing other vehicles. The dust from the impact swirls in the air. How lucky are we that no collisions occurred? That could have been disastrous. The floodwaters rise higher, completely covering the road, as the water begins seeping into the cars of unsuspecting drivers. The rising tide seems unstoppable how long before these vehicles are completely submerged. Thank you so much for watching. We hope these incredible moments left you in awe and amazement. Stay tuned for more Mudslide videos, and don't forget to hit that like button if you were as blown away as we were.